The summer air hung heavy and humid, thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming water lilies. It was a night meant for relaxation, for sharing stories under the vast, star-studded sky. But a sense of unease gnawed at me, a feeling that something was amiss, something hidden beneath the tranquil surface of the night. I, Kaelen, a young river otter, had been invited to Jaxx's family pond, a secluded oasis tucked away from the bustling riverbanks and crowded burrows. Jaxx, a badger from a wealthy lineage, possessed a sprawling estate, a testament to his father's prowess as a tunnel architect. His family's burrows stretched across the territory, even beyond, whispering tales of their influence and affluence. This pond, however, was their most remote property, a hidden gem shrouded in an aura of mystery. The pond itself was a large, murky expanse, its surface reflecting the faint glow of the moon like a dark mirror. The far shore, lined with ancient trees and dense reeds, was visible, but a challenging swim nonetheless. Jaxx's parents were rarely present, leaving him with almost unlimited access to the property. There was something about being out on the water, the feeling of isolation and freedom, that was intoxicating. It was a stark contrast to the open river, where creatures jostled for space and resources. This pond offered a sense of exclusivity, a hidden sanctuary. The surrounding burrows, grand and imposing structures, stood mostly empty, their windows dark and vacant. They were vacation homes, retreats for creatures who rarely ventured to this secluded corner of the territory. This meant Jaxx could throw wild gatherings, rowdy celebrations that echoed across the water, without fear of disturbing the absent neighbors. But this night was different. It was just the two of us, a quiet escape from the pressures of our lives. I had recently ended a long-term burrow-mate relationship, a painful separation that left me feeling adrift and vulnerable. I needed the solace of a trusted friend, the comfort of familiar company. We were sharing some fermented berries on the dock, their sweet tang a welcome distraction, when I noticed a flickering light across the pond. At first I dismissed it as moonlight reflecting off a ripple in the water, a trick of the eye. But the light was flashing, like someone turning a lamp on and off repeatedly. I pointed it out to Jaxx, and we watched, our eyes fixed on the mysterious signal. The flashing wasn't random. It followed a distinct pattern. 3 short bursts, 3 longer ones, then 3 short ones again. Jaxx, surprisingly, recognized it as Morse code. He claimed it meant SOS, a distress signal. I was skeptical, but a quick check on my communicator confirmed his knowledge. Someone was in trouble. The flashing continued for a few more minutes, then stopped abruptly, leaving us in a state of uneasy silence. We were left staring at the darkness, our minds racing, unsure what to think. It could have been a prank, a cruel joke played by some mischievous creature. But what if someone was genuinely in danger? Jaxx immediately suggested alerting the burrow guards, the official protectors of the territory. But I reminded him we had been indulging in fermented berries, and neither of us was of legal age. I was also dealing with a recent traffic violation, a minor offense, that had landed me in hot water with the authorities. I was hesitant to involve them again. We considered other explanations, but none made sense. A creature in distress would have used their communicator, not a flashing light. It was a puzzle, a mystery that demanded investigation. We were both adventurous, curious creatures, so we decided to investigate ourselves. If it turned out to be serious, we'd alert the guards later. We went inside Jaxx's burrow, a sprawling mansion filled with the luxuries of his family's wealth. Jaxx grabbed a few sharpened digging claws from his brother's room, just in case. His brother, a solitary creature with a penchant for collecting unusual objects, was a bit of an oddity. Jaxx offered to drive his father's water vehicle, but I wasn't comfortable with that. My recent run-in with the law had made me wary of such risks. The only other option was to take his father's kayak, a small, sleek vessel perfect for navigating the narrow waterways of the pond. We laughed at first, enjoying the thrill of our clandestine adventure. But as we paddled further out onto the murky water, the silence grew heavy, the atmosphere charged with an unspoken tension. The sun had long since set, and the darkness was deepening, enveloping us in its shadowy embrace. As we approached the burrow where the light had originated, we saw that it was a large, imposing structure, but clearly neglected. The dock was half collapsed, its weathered planks submerged in the water. The flashing had also stopped, leaving the burrow shrouded in an ominous silence. We beached the kayak on the shore, careful not to slip on the moss-covered rocks. The light had come from the upper level, a detail we had noted earlier. Jaxx was visibly nervous, his fur bristling with apprehension. He suggested we abandon our mission and return to his burrow to call the guards from the safety of his home. But I reminded him we'd have to paddle all the way back, a daunting task in the darkness. I told him it was just like exploring the abandoned burrows we'd done as pups, a harmless adventure. He reluctantly agreed, his apprehension still evident. We crept around the burrow, searching for an entry point. We found an unlocked window, a dark portal into the unknown. The inside was empty, completely bare. There was no furniture, no signs of anyone ever living there. It was a hollow shell, a vacant space devoid of life. We found the stairs, their wooden steps creaking under our weight, and cautiously made our way up. The air grew colder, the silence more profound. The room where the light had come from was also empty, except for an old projector facing the window. Alarm bells rang in my head. This was a trap, a carefully orchestrated deception. Jaxx, realizing the same, started running, his footsteps echoing through the empty burrow. I followed him, hearing a door slam open behind us, followed by rapid thumping sounds, like the hurried footsteps of a pursuer. We jumped through the window, landing on the soft earth below. We ran towards the shore, our hearts pounding in our chests. But the kayak was gone, stolen from its mooring. A figure emerged from the side of the burrow, running towards us, their silhouette a dark shape against the moonlit water. He was large, an adult, and fast, closing the distance between us with alarming speed. I pulled out a digging claw, ready to defend myself, but Jaxx, without hesitation, jumped into the pond. I followed him, the water icy cold, a shock to my system. We swam towards the lights of Jaxx's burrow, which seemed miles away in the darkness. We swam with all our might, adrenaline fueling our strokes, trying to outpace the pursuer. We made it, shivering and exhausted, dragging ourselves onto Jaxx's dock. We ran straight inside, locked every door and window, and called the burrow guards. They arrived an hour later, finding the abandoned burrow empty. They weren't happy with us, and Jaxx's parents were furious. I still don't know what happened that night. Who was in that burrow? Why set that trap? What were their intentions? My friends think it was a trap, and they got cold feet at the last minute. I don't want to think about what might have happened if they hadn't.